I usually do not talk to a group like this about security. Usually I like to address it in a smaller level, but I think it's important. On my YouTube channel, the most requested topics are on security. People are scared, rightfully so. It's very easy to go out and buy a year's supply of Mountain House. It's easy to buy water filters. It's easy. We all know we need those things. But security is another animal. The reason I am very proficient in security is because I did it for Uncle Sam. You know, when you're in a foreign country, you are your own security. So that is my advantage over most people. If I did not have Uncle Sam and everything he's taught me, I'd be in the seat just like you guys, like, oh my goodness, what do I need to do? It's a difficult topic, but we need to talk about it. A lot of people don't want to talk about it because they're in denial. They say, it can never get that bad inside the United States. That is changing daily with the quality of people, the character of people. It could go ugly in 1.4 seconds. Outside their comfort zone, people are saying, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about another human being wanting to hurt me, or I don't want to talk about having to hurt another human being. And third, they don't know what to do, so they're stuck. They're stuck in neutral, they're not moving forward. I don't know what to do. How do I protect my family when there's no law and order? Supplies without security is a failure. You can put away a year's supply of food, but if you can't protect what you have for one day, don't stock a year's supply of food. Stock 1 day supply of food, or learn security. Threats that could directly affect your security. These are natural disasters that, if they happen, they can result in a security situation for you. We all know a flood. Hurricane Katrina is a prime example of what happened down there. No law and order for weeks. Total mayhem. There's no other word to describe it. A robbery, rapes, murders were abounded. Tornadoes, earthquakes, any of these can hurt us. The one thing I want to say about earthquakes, I try to find stories of rioting, looting, crime in Japan. I couldn't find them on the internet. I mean, so what I want you to think is, in any situation that we face, just say, hey, if the Japanese people can do it, why can't we do it? You saw them. I had first-hand accounts of pilots bringing in food on helicopters. The people would take just what they needed, and the helicopter went to the next village. If you landed a helicopter in certain places of our country in a disaster, they'd steal the helicopter, they'd strip it down. Solar flare, we know what a solar flare is, an EMP, that could definitely affect security as we know it. Man-made disasters. Anything nuclear, biological, chemical, be it a nuclear attack, a biological attack, a chemical attack made by a foreign country, or a rogue terrorist group, could definitely destabilize our life and cause a security concern. Riots and civil disturbances, common sense. The LA riots, everybody knows the Koreans out front of their stores, on top of their stores with rifles and shotguns. A lot of their places didn't get looted because they were proactive. You know, they secured their livelihoods and their businesses, and they protected them, and they didn't get burned down. Riots in the Middle East, all over the Middle East are occurring. The pictures of Egypt when they were rioting, what did people do in their subdivisions? They went outside and they protected their streets with clubs, with sticks, with whatever they could find, and it worked. Financial collapse. This is why I personally prep, and Scott, and why we have a retreat group. Financial collapse. We could wake up tomorrow and the dollar could be worthless. It is a high possibility. With the way they're printing money, with the way politicians think very short term, they're thinking just about their next re-election and their pension. Financial collapse is my biggest worry, another Great Depression. Social breakdown. It's called brawl, without rule of law, and that could happen for any reason. It could be a short-term period. If you don't have law and order for 2 weeks, you still have a security concern. If you don't have law and order for a year, you have a huge security concern, and you better be able to step up to the plate. And that's what I'm trying to share with you today. Some things you can do. Yes, you guys aren't 75th Rangers, you're not at that level, but if I can just open your mind to start thinking, hey, I have to work on security. You might not be able to do it, but guess what? You have a buddy that is very capable, might be an ex-military guy. You can say, hey, you need to start teaching me things. I need to start learning. Security mission for a prepper or a retreatist. It's not to shoot people or have a violent confrontation. It's to show a threat that you mean business, use force only as a last resort. We need to have this mindset. What you are doing is right, and to use deadly force to protect yourself and your family is fine. You are allowed to defend yourself and protect yourself. A lot of people are hesitant to hurt another human being today, but when that mindset changes and when that situation changes, your mindset better keep up with the situation. It's like being in the military. Yeah, you're driving on the road, everything's fine. Boom, you get hit, you get shot at. Your mind immediately goes to, hey, this is business time. That's what you guys got to think about. Instantaneously change your mindset from, yeah, I'm a good person, I love my neighbor, and I'm trying to take care of him, but hey, this is real life where the rubber hits the road. Should I be in the city or the country? I get that question a lot on my YouTube channel. There's advantages and disadvantages to both. If you're in the city, you are closer to man-made resources, but you're also closer to more people trying to get the man-made resource. If you're in the country, you have less man-made resources, but you have further demand for them. So it's a trade-off. I personally like the country better, but I personally like being a community inside the city or the country. If you're in a small city, your neighbors are very important. You have to get your neighbors on board immediately. None of us in here are Rambo. We cannot do anything by ourselves. We all need to sleep. So if you're in the city, maybe you could get out. If you can't get out, be part of a community inside that city. If you're in the country, definitely be part of a community. A lot of guys say, well, I'm going to go far out in the woods and I'll be fine. I'll get my cabin or my house way out in the woods. If the only way that would work in the United States, if you go out west, you go to Idaho, you go to the deserts of Arizona. If you think you're going to do it on the East Coast, it's not correct. Because first of all, every teenager or college kid out there knows you have a cabin, because guess what? They're looking for a place to go drink and party, and they're going to find your cabin. Every hunter out there, if you're not there a lot, he's going to find your cabin. He's going to know where your cabin is. So don't have a false sense of security if you're in the country, way out in the boondocks. Personally, working for Uncle Sam, if they asked me, hey, you need to put something under observation or surveillance, I would rather than say, hey, you're going far out in the boondocks to put somebody under surveillance than in the city. Reason is, to do surveillance or to watch somebody in the city is very hard, even in the suburban area, because why? You have neighbors. Your neighbors will see what's happening, so you have to go about watching or observing something differently. If you're out in the country and you have a farmhouse back up in the woods, that is a dream place for a sniper or someone doing observation. Why? First of all, I can infiltrate into your location. You have no neighbors to see me come in. That is a gold mine for me. So I get in there with no problem. As soon as I'm in there, if you have 1 or 2 families at your retreat, you're not going to find me. So what am I going to do? For the next week, I'm going to put you under observation on one side of your house. I'm going to move to the other side of your house. I'm going to move all the way around your house. If it takes me a week to watch your retreat, I'm living off a few MREs. And guess what I just gathered? I gathered everything I need to take you out. I know how many males, how many females. I know your routine when you get your eggs. I know how many kids, how many dogs you have. I know everything about you. I've actually seen it happen. If you can observe an enemy for 3, 4, 5 days, you can usually take him out with barely a shot being fired. Because I know your routine. I know what you're doing. That is that's a paradise for somebody watching you. So do not get a false sense of security that I'm so far out, I'm safe. It is a false sense of security.